In this episode,
I want to be fanned by hot man feeding me grapes.
You know what? I want to be fanned by a hot man too.
Yeah.
Just for status. I'm straight.
Yeah.
But this guy's hot. And I used to look like this.
Welcome to the Subject Free Podcast. The unfiltered real estate podcast where four agents share real life stories from their careers in the crazy world of real estate. Now welcome Alan, Viv, Matt, and Adam.
Okay, welcome back to the Subject Free Podcast. Welcome, everybody.
Yay!
I'm Adam, this is Alan, and we have two very special guests with
Special.
us today. Yes, Crystal and Amy. Crystal, Amy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've done two guests on the podcast.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah.
Two beautiful guests.
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Two very smart guests.
And Crystal and Amy.
And Crystal and Amy. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I gotcha.
We should
Whoa.
we should context this as well too, because if this goes off the rails, we should probably explain why. We had a big charity fundraiser last night for Alan's Canines and Cocktails. That's why I have a phone sex voice, and Alan may be a bit jittery.
I'm very hungover. I'm on a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
I've had maybe 4 hours sleep in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing straight right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to drive here.
So we'll see how this goes. You guys might have to just take over as Alan and I pass out eventually.
And Crystal and Amy were also at the events.
Yes, they were.
So Crystal's actually doing very well. I'm surprised you were at both.
Yeah.
And you left early.
I did to avoid you.
Yeah. Smart.
So you had none of those 35 shots I ordered?
It's 0. I just had the free
Oh
champagne
my
and I left.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Amy
Smart.
was
Very
smart. She didn't come to the event at the last event at all.
She came to the daytime.
Daytime.
With her dad. That was cute.
Yeah.
That was her out.
That was a smart out.
Mr. Miyagi is always my out.
Yeah. That's a good call.
I should start bringing my dad to everything as well too.
Yeah.
Give me a complete out.
No. You're stuck with me, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the opposite of my father in a lot of ways. That's for
exactly.
Sure. So let's kind of get into this, because the theme of today and what we're going to be talking to you about is we talk always about Vancouver, the Vancouver market, and being a realtor in Vancouver, where you both have the unique experience of having experience in the Vancouver market, obviously, but really branching out into other markets. Crystal, you're in Edmonton, and Amy, you have a cross-border program in Arizona, Mexico, which includes Cabo, Tulum, and probably maybe one or two other places that I'm not aware of. But
hold on, before we continue, I'm starting to feel emasculated here by these ladies. We only do one territory.
I know.
Crap.
I know. Oh, and before I forget, we're brought to you by Legacy Brew.
Oh my
which
God, I forgot that too.
I always
We're
get in trouble,
hungover, guys.
Yeah, that's how off the rails.
It was all for the canines. Anyways.
So let's just first start with you, Crystal. So your story is you started your realtor in Vancouver, and then you moved for reasons to Edmonton, and really kind of moved, in my opinion, at the best possible time, because where the Vancouver market kind of stopped, or at least slowed down quite a bit, Alberta is well documented to be an absolute gong show right now, and has been really since you joined. So
hot market, right?
Hot market,
It is a hot market.
Yeah. So tell me kind of the differences. You've seen hot markets in both. Tell me the differences between a hot market Vancouver-wise and a hot market in Edmonton, Calgary, surrounding areas.
Well, a hot market in Edmonton is first-time home buyers actually have a chance to get a home, whereas in Vancouver, it was a lot harder.
Right.
I think when I was living here, I wrote 13 offers for one client.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we all have that story.
Yeah, and it was a headache. But so Edmonton, it's just a greater chance for you to get into the market, a better chance for you to even start like investment properties, right? Our costs are a lot lower.
Yeah.
So
now with those first-time home buyers, they can buy larger properties out there, obviously.
Get way more space for your money.
Awesome. That's amazing. Now, do they have more supply in regards to
We're
homes?
actually very low inventory right now.
Right now, but before?
Yes.
Before there was lots of supply.
Yes.
Because there was 70,000 British
70,000
Columbians?
BC residents moving.
But
to
that's
Alberta
okay.
last
The
year.
government topped us up with an extra 400,000. Great.
Yeah. So net, we're still up.
Oh, we're
last
still way
year.
up.
Way up, obviously, but a lot of residents, because of affordability, moved over to Alberta.
Just wait till they go through the first winter.
Yeah, seriously. So what is that like, climate-wise, trying to show homes, properties, like it's a different, I know what it's like just in the winter here, which is rain, but there, obviously, snow.
Do your lashes stick? When
Yeah,
you
do
close
your lashes
eyes?
stick?
I want to know that.
Let's get down to the bottom brass tacks.
I actually have a video I posted maybe my first year back in Edmonton, and I had like snowflakes on my eyelashes, and they did stick together.
Oh no.
Well, it gets bad. What, minus 35, minus 50?
Minus
past year?
42 with wind chill.
Crazy.
Minus 49.
Crazy.
You'd never get used to it. Our lock boxes get frozen, and you can't show homes. So
Ooh.
yeah, you never get used
See,
to it.
when I was a touring musician back in the day, I remember we were filming in Edmonton a TV show. We had an interview. It was actually plus 30 outside when we went in to film the show. Filmed for like 4 hours, and then we got out. It was minus 2 and snowing. What the hell?
Yeah, that's
That's
the
like
Alberta
bad shit.
landscape.
You got bipolar weather.
A little bit.
It's like,
yeah.
what the hell's going
We can go
on?
through like 3 seasons in a day. depending
That's
on where we
crazy.
are.
That's crazy.
So just tell me, maybe go through a little bit of the differences that you're finding between the two markets, other than obviously the weather.
The price.
Yeah. And is it the offers the same? Are there multiples? Are you having to prep the clients the same way, or is it not that cutthroat?
I think the process across the board, anywhere you go, is the same. Prepping your clients does have to be the same, right?
Yeah.
You have to prepare them for what's going to happen if you do go into a multiple offer. And just like Vancouver, you have to be like, well, someone's going to come in unconditional. Like, are you going to be able to compete with that? So if we're going into a multiple offer where we're already at like their highest price, like the max they can go, and we're in this multiple offer market, you actually want to start aiming lower now, but they have a little bit of room to play with. But I feel like that's easier to do in Edmonton than it is here. Like I said, I wrote 13 offers for a client here back in like 2021, and it was really hard to get accepted.
So what's an entry level price out there?
Entry level, you can go in at $190,000 for a condo.
$190,000,
That is our
and that's
average.
Canadian.
That is Canadian, and we don't have property land transfer tax either.
What the hell? Are you serious?
I was like, I should probably move out there.
No, I can't. I have ailments. My arthritis.
Yeah,
I would die.
you
I have ailments. I'm like every year about to almost die.
We're like
Adam knows this.
We're like sick dogs over
yeah,
here.
it's bad. It's bad.
We went to bed early.
Wait,
one year.
They went to bed
We're
early.
barely
We are
hanging
winning.
on. Yeah.
They went to bed early. They sell in multiple regions.
Yeah.
You and me are just
Yeah.
barely
We're
hanging on.
barely- we're hanging on by a thread
hey,
here.
Are you in the hospital today? No. I am. Yeah. Okay.
It's the Alan and Adam ward we have. It's
Yeah,
our own,
exactly.
It's our nurses,
Exactly.
doctors are on standby.
Yeah, exactly.
We're ready to go. Amy, let's talk a little bit about your story. So you were doing very well in Vancouver. I know you're kind of the cash flow queen when it comes to real estate and really looking at investment opportunities for your investors. What made you go from, having a very robust business in Vancouver to all of a sudden pivoting? Or not pivoting, because you still sell in Vancouver quite a bit, but really looking at other alternatives for your clients.
Yeah, I think it was after COVID we switched and we kept, everyone was suffering during COVID. It was such a crazy time, and you felt a bit claustrophobic. You wanted to be, in other areas. You couldn't travel. That was really tough. And so we kind of just thought, you know what, we can see the silver tsunami, they call it, right?
Yeah.
This is
Can I just say something here? So beforehand, Amy was talking and her voice was a bit higher. Then as soon as she went on the mic, it was like sultry. Talking about her business is like
It's
sexy.
Mr. Rapper.
Again, not
Anyways,
not
she
my
was-
normal voice.
This
but
is how
yes.
she sells homes.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
uses the
that's- I
voice.
get
She's
it
like,
now. I get
yes, I do this. It's like, oh wow, yeah, I'll buy it. 10, give me 10. I gotcha. I got her selling that for now, Adam.
I get really passionate about cross-border.
Yeah,
Obviously.
passionate and sexy.
Obviously.
Like, wow, okay.
So sorry, go on.
Yeah, and I think we were just traveling a lot ourselves, and then we study a lot of economics and trends and demographics, and the baby boomers and the parents and all of our parents and everyone is wanting the son for their ailments.
Yeah.
Alan's a little early.
I know. I'm very early.
You're
Jesus.
ahead of your age. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And same with me. I'm like, I have neck issues. When I get stressed, it all goes here.
Yeah.
And so going to places like Cabo, where I personally bought a place, and my business partner Ali bought in Tulum and Arizona. We just started to feel better, and our passion for even just obviously the business. After Crystal was saying, you know, we were like, after we sell a lot in Vancouver, over like 100 homes a year for 6 years straight.
Which
It is a
crazy.
grind.
That's a lot.
That's amazing.
Yes, it's amazing. And then you go through the different markets and you're going, this is like, I'm now, you know, you feel sometimes like a counselor, and then you feel like you're wearing so many hats. And so just being in the sunshine, I was like, I could do this every day for 12 hours a day again. And I feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm helping people with cash flow.
Yes. Yes.
But that's the thing, though. I don't know. Like, when you have the sunshine all the time, I mean, I know me. I'm like, I need to go for a long walk with my dogs. I need to do this. I need to avoid work as much as possible.
Fair.
I like all the marketing stuff. When it's raining, I'm there 12 hours behind my computer doing marketing.
That's why you have to stay here, Ellen, because I know you'd be at the pool and the margaritas with the flowing.
Very,
and you definitely don't want to come
true.
to Edmonton because you'll be drinking all the
Yeah,
time.
very
my
true.
God.
He's balanced here, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
That's why
balanced.
I have a high tolerance.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Awesome. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So did you, when you were going down there, it sounds like it was more of a personal thing, and then you looked at it and went, wait a second, there's a business opportunity here too.
Yeah, it was always like, we're entrepreneurs at heart. So it was a business as well as our clients just kept saying like, oh, we see that you're going down there. You know, how's the real estate? And then, of course, when you're there, it's hard not to look at real estate anywhere you go on a trip.
Yeah.
And then we're just going, you can buy a detached house in Arizona for, under $700,000 at the time with a pool.
Yeah.
And it's fully renovated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can Airbnb.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
It's
the
a no-brainer.
Airbnbs there.
Yeah.
Oof.
Insane.
Scottsdale is like one of my favorite places. People are so friendly.
Such a vibe.
So friendly. So I made friends with all the owners of all the clubs there.
Of course you did. Of course you
I'm not
did.
surprised.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Rosé.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Yeah, it is. When's the next time you're going? I'm coming with you.
Very soon. We'll
Really?
be there pretty much like back and forth all summer. Everyone's going, you girls are so crazy. Like, why would you go down in, the hottest months when you can fry an egg on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
actually try that, though.
You're coming. You guys can come. You'll fry eggs with me.
So
and we'll sell
my day
real
club
estate.
will be there every day.
There you go.
Awesome.
So did you saw kind of an opportunity there? What are the challenges of getting licensed down there? Because we're talking about two countries here. We're talking about U.S. and Mexico. So how do you do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Are we really talking about this? No. But no, it's Ali was able to. So my business partner, Ali Ballum, she met her amazing husband. I believe it might have been at my day club.
No
Really?
kidding. Okay. Wow. That's all coming out now.
Sorry,
Hey.
he's a gem.
Yeah.
No,
Good.
hey. I mean, you meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah,
He's amazing. And obviously he's from Scottsdale,
Mm-hmm.
and we had already bought our house there, and he's actually a property manager. It just worked
see.
out. It was almost like the real estate gods were shining their beams of light on us, and they're like, you're going to do this. And Ali, literally last week, got her U.S. residency. I was able to get mine in Mexico, so I went to the consulate. I got my residency for Mexico.
Yeah.
Got a bank account. Like, that was a goal of mine. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, like, they watch all the movies and they're like, I want a Swiss bank account one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And it's
Offshore
not,
account in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go. Exactly.
it's cool and it's sexy.
Right. It is
It
sexy.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
I
isn't
mean,
it-
I'm about to take my shirt off.
Whoa.
That's the booze
That's
talking,
the
guys.
Bailey's talking.
Because of Adam's voice or Amy's?
I think
Both.
everything collectively, it's sexy. But yeah.
So then you can get your license. So in the States, it's harder. Okay.
Yeah.
It's you either, you'll have to marry an American. I think you two are already married. Crystal and I are free. No, we are currently hunting. I'm just
Let's pivot this podcast.
Yeah.
Sounds like we've turned this into Allie and Crystal's dating hour
We
here.
thought this was a relationship podcast.
Yeah, well, that was part of the plan. But I let's stay on this for a second. Yeah, let's get on because I want to know more about. So Mexico, I've understood that if you buy a certain amount of property there, you all of a sudden get PR. Is that kind
There's
of?
6 ways to get your
Okay.
residency.
Wow.
My dad also bought in Cabo as well, so
Okay.
Yeah.
he's getting his residency.
Cabo has gone up in price.
Oh, it's
my God.
amazing. I was trying to push everyone
Yeah.
back in 2020,
Well, now,
2021.
do you think Tulum is going to be? Sorry, I'm totally
Yes.
pivoting from what you
No,
were
no,
asking,
no.
but
Hey.
do you think
All good.
Tulum is going to be the next Cabo?
Oh, 100%.
Because of the airport, right?
Yeah, international airport just opened. They're doing the Dubai, bigger than Dubai, the F1 racetrack is going in.
Yes,
wow.
that's what we were looking into. I almost bought, and then I was about to fly there, and it sold before I flew to see the last one that I wanted. So it was like, ugh. And then I rescued like 18 dogs instead.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's better.
And now I don't have money for.
So, but let's be
Let's go back here. Sorry.
So let's be devil's advocate though on Tulum. Do you think that it's going to become overbought, oversaturated, or is it still has so much room to grow?
Yeah, so it's a quite small. Like if you look on the map, it's its own little beach, and it's not that big.
Yeah.
But obviously you're in the jungle. There's a lot of buildings, so. Again, it's managing expectations. When Ali bought herself, same thing. She's like, okay, I can buy a villa with not one, but 2 personal pools, a standalone villa, no shared walls, for $320,000.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
I can Airbnb it,
Yeah.
for, on the low end, $70,000 to $100,000, we'll say.
Is that a 3-bedroom villa? Is that what
A
you're talking about?
3-bed villa with
Which one did
beautiful
she
rooftop.
buy? Was it the one we were looking at? Remember that one we saw?
I
It's
do.
called
Sphere one?
Ceremonia.
No,
They're
no.
beautiful. Comes with a beach club membership.
Oh my God.
It's so nice.
Wow.
The amenities, you guys. And that's the thing. So, she sold and we sold one that we had bought in Langley, and it was underperforming. And so many listening, and I'm sure you guys too with your investments, they're negative cash flow here.
Yep.
And it's not going up. It's hard. Even with a 20% rent increase, they're still negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And they're going to be that way for a long time. Right?
exactly.
The only way to do it is short-term rentals, right?
Yeah.
So
and now
short-term-
we're getting
now-
just chopped at the ankles with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, there's still ways around it.
On the,
Alan.
do not
wanna
share the
announce
secrets,
that.
Alan.
Oh my gosh.
Listen,
On the cash flow side, is like what is a rental for? Is it make sense in Alberta to have? Is it cash flow positive?
It's cash flow positive. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I already said your entry level is like $190,000 for a decent like 2-bed, 2-bath condo.
so how much would that rent out for?
It depends on the location. I think average right now is like $1,800.
For a
Oh,
2-bed,
really?
2-bath?
2-bed, 2-bath.
For
Depending on the
$190,000?
location. Obviously, if you're going downtown, it's going to be a little bit more. But that's a lot less than what it is here. I mean,
Yeah.
people are renting out their atriums here for $1,800.
Yeah. No, honestly.
Yeah.
Alan's
crazy.
renting out his dog houses.
Yeah, good price too.
Yeah.
Good price.
Yeah.
Contact me.
So then you come up here and now you're helping Vancouver realtors to kind of sell through that. So just explain what you're doing in that regard to talk to Vancouver realtors and kind of to leverage what your contacts here.
Yeah, and I should kind of like reel it in a bit. Only the realtors that we call it our inner circle access, the realtors that we have either transacted with, have a relationship like you guys, we are pretty selective. So we don't like do a lot. This is for like if you want like into our program. This
Right.
is like our the legal structures. What do you buy in a corp? Do you buy in an LLC? Do you buy in a Mexican corp? Like there's so much to know. It took us 3 years and we're not even scratched the surface, I think, of being a Canadian buying in the US and Mexico. But we know enough now and we've set it up so it is programmatized. So from A to Z, you have everything covered.
Right.
What to structure, furniture setup. I'm helping all of our clients in Cabo right now with furniture packages. So it's turnkey.
Right.
Some of them are not
That's
even
amazing.
coming. The property management we have negotiated. So everything is fully managed. You don't even have to come if you don't want to.
Right.
But the returns put tears in their eyes, literally, like people that you could call right now and they made so much money. And it used to be that way here, right? Pre-sale, you could make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's
Now you can't.
way more than resale and it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's just, it is to help realtors, but we're pretty selective with who.
Yeah.
But anyone, of course, can send us a referral. We'll give a standard referral fee.
Right.
But, we've made a program for people that, we love and want to do business with.
Yeah.
And I would say that would be,
And
people
what-
like yourselves, right?
Why be selective? Why not just open it up to everybody?
And it's open to everyone.
Yeah.
But because we have to teach you,
Yeah.
it takes so much time away
yeah.
from our business,
Yeah.
and we don't have to teach, but we want to because it's a win-win. And if we all collab, as we know, we can really go across border as we should because that's the way of the future. That nobody
Oh, totally.
cares anymore, right? You guys know that.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
cryptocurrency, they're buying land in the
my
sky, and you're
Yeah.
like, no, let's put this into hard assets.
Yeah.
Now.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Physical
Exactly.
land, not meta land.
No,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
exactly.
Metaland.
Metaland.
Decentraland with an avatar. I don't even get it.
Yeah.
Confuses me.
Yeah.
Does anybody get that?
Nobody
still?
gets that. It's terrible.
But when were you guys born? Like, we don't really get. Like,
No.
if you're
Yeah.
an '80s baby, like you're kind of like, this is confusing.
Yeah, no.
I don't even get
I
TikTok.
tried to get
If I
into
can't
it.
touch it, I don't get it, right? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
sounds bad.
So,
That's
that
also
sound bad?
That's personal life
true.
and professional life, isn't it?
yeah. Very, very personal. Yeah.
So what are the pitfalls of this? Like you mentioned, kind of you have a program for this. Why have a program? Is it governmental? Is it tax? Is it like what are the pitfalls going into this?
I think it was born out of default because we messed up ourselves,
Oh.
right? So we didn't understand. We didn't even know you can buy in something called a cross-border trust. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And that bypasses probate if anyone passes. So if you have children, you can buy in this and it shelters you. And anyway, so there's so much to go over, but we, through buying ourselves, and we're always the guinea pigs, we don't like selling in other countries if we haven't done it ourselves.
Yeah.
That was why it cost us $30,000 just out the window, like poof.
Right, right.
Because we didn't have the right financing people in place.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
we do. Now, a lot of people ask us, like, I don't know, 3 times a day in my DMs, can you finance in Mexico? We finally cracked that code with a Canadian company, right? So
Really?
yeah, in Canadian
Really?
funds they lend to
Oh,
Canadians
wow.
to Mexico. So this is where we put our hard-earned,
Yeah.
knowledge and years of this, and we only are going to give it to people in our program that we approve in there. That's why.
Okay, go ahead.
So for this program, do you charge for people to get in?
Yes.
Okay. So what does that look like, and how can people, contact you about it?
Yeah, like we charge it's $2,000, and it's essentially right now a retainer fee until we open, because we're gonna have physical storefronts in Old Town Scottsdale, which I'm sure you guys have been to and your stomping ground from your Alex Grant. Look at his grin.
I love
You're
it there.
coming.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming.
And then obviously in Cabo, and then very, very soon Tulum. So we're flying down there in May. And so it's just really nice because people in the program get to also go, and we can pick you up from the airport and tour you, and clients love it. And they only get taken to the high ROI performing properties. We don't mess around. Like sometimes they want to go, oh, I want this one. I want this one. It's like, no, that won't work.
Yeah.
Gotta keep them
That's not
focused.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, let's talk about that for both of you. I'll give you both a couple seconds to think about it. But what are you seeing in your markets that are opportunities for investors? And maybe I'll start with you because we're on your right now. But are you seeing like 1 beds, 2 beds, 3 beds? Like where are you looking at right now and saying this is where everybody should go?
And do you want me to talk about Mexico or the U.S.?
Well, both. Do both markets because I think we're all. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
No, but we're interested in both, so do both.
Okay. Well, let's just say for Arizona, we've taken them and we've put them on the fence, okay? Because it shifted. The interest rates are so high right now. They were teetering around like the 7 to 8% plus. And so the ROI is kind of, has decreased. So we've switched them more to midterm rentals and long term. So they still cover themselves.
Yeah.
They're just not like cash cows like they were.
Yeah.
Just because of interest rates and things went up. It's like mimicking Vancouver essentially.
Totally.
But in the back half of this year, they're supposed to do 3 rate cuts in the U.S., which will positively impact us because obviously with the dollar and everything. So Canada usually follows suit. And if we have that, like what's your guys' bet for April 10th? Is this going to air before then?
It's probably gonna
it won't,
hold.
but I think it's a hold too.
I think it's a hold,
What
but
do you
I
think?
want
It's
them to
hold.
cut.
I want a 0.25. I'm a manifestor.
See, here's
I'm a variable.
and that's the thing.
I think we all are.
We're all on variable.
Yeah.
The thing is, they need to cut at least 1% by the end of this year. There's so many delinquencies already, right? So, it'd be wise for them to start it now so they don't do, these 0.5 cuts all of a sudden out of nowhere. But
I don't think they're going to cut it one basis point this year.
they have to. That's the mandate.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the mandates have been blown out before,
That's true.
but
That's true.
I'm looking at probably June. It would be my guess is the next
so
time.
a lot of people have been saying that.
Yeah.
I think
so
June
that's
too.
the thing. Like the states, if they do that, like obviously then it will,
Mm-hmm.
and we're kind of trying to time it and get everyone ready. My biggest advice is like get ready beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
Get your ducks in a row. Get pre-approved, and they'll hold it. For up to say 4 months, and then so for Arizona, I would say midterm, long-term rentals.
Okay.
About 30 minutes outside, actually. Like Allie's building a house right now. It's a 4 to 5 bedroom house, 3,000 square feet.
No. Yeah.
750,000.
Yeah, crazy. It's just
Brand new,
mind-boggling.
That's
in
insane.
the nicest community.
That's
You're
insane.
like, is this Pleasantville?
Yeah.
So
That's insane.
again, like you'll make it up, in appreciation because of the silver tsunami coming.
Yeah.
They're all coming.
Yeah.
We've never had this wealth transference in our history upon
Yeah.
us
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
yeah.
Like the amount of even just inheritance, right? Like and then people wanting to live their last, good decades or
That's soon for us.
Yeah, yeah. We should start looking now. I'll get pre-approved.
I already ordered
We'll
my
be in
walker.
touch.
It's coming.
Do you need to be referred to a mortgage broker?
Yes, I do. Yes.
and Crystal, I want that too. Like I said, I'm like, I don't want to be in an old folks home
Yeah.
in like a dingy I like lighting and like, some of them, I want to be fanned by hot man feeding me grapes in a Hawaiian villa.
You
in
know
a
what?
villa.
I want to be fanned by a hot man too.
Yeah.
Just for status. Yes, come here. It's like, that'd be great.
You're a pool boy.
Grapes. It's like, I'm straight.
Yeah.
But this guy's hot. And I used to look like this.
Yeah, just get a replica of you what you used to look
there
like.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, ROI. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Write it back in here. So we'll finish and I want to hear Crystal because I am interested in your area too. Yeah. So Cabo, love Cabo. Obviously I bought personally. My place is 2,000 square feet, 3 bed and a den. Crazy, beautiful, architectural, stunning green wall. Like you guys, we'll all come. We'll have a nice little pool party. And, $400,000, right? It went up. Now, pre-sale, that was the price. Now the cheapest one selling is $729.
That's insane.
And that was I bought that in January 2021. So that's my best performing one I've ever bought,
Yeah.
even more than my house in Lower Lonsdale, right? So I think that's where people need to see, like if you know what you're doing and you know the builder, because
Yep.
you were asking what are the downfalls,
Yep.
know the builder.
Yes.
Like you need to know because in Mexico you drive by, there's skeletons, there's they haven't finished the amenities.
Yeah.
They haven't,
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be really, really careful. So
I think it's like with anywhere though. Like there's really bad builders here too.
Totally.
Right.
there is
Yeah.
too.
But
yeah.
I think there's more legal obligation for them to finish, but they finish poorly.
Yeah.
That's why you
Whereas
do
in
your due
Mexico-
diligence, and then you
Yeah.
get your new home build inspector, like
Yeah.
someone that specializes it.
Yeah.
That's important.
So is it like the Wild Wild West in Mexico?
It is a bit, and I love it. Like to be honest, like I love that it is the Wild Wild West because it's green tape, and I'm finding I feel a little suffocated with red tape lately,
Yeah.
and I think
Fair.
we all talk about this a lot. And what I love where I live. I will always keep a home here. We will always sell real estate here. It's just nice to have that place to escape to, and when you're not there, it's paying you.
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting paid to
Yeah.
vacation.
That's
Where-
huge.
Right? And
Yeah, yeah.
I was dropping 15, 20K on a vacation in Cabo over Christmas and New Year's every year.
Yeah.
Now
No.
I'm making like probably about my goal is 5K. Maybe we talk about this next year and see if that number is true.
Yeah.
But I want to make 5K a month. And I can't say that here.
Is that gross or net?
I want to make that gross,
Gross.
and then it's only 15% for the management.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And the HOA is $350.
Yeah.
So
And is that
you're
American
netting-
dollars?
American.
American, yeah. So there you go. Add another 25%
And it's
to
what
that.
your commission out there is what 2.5%, 3%.
It is 4 to 8%.
Holy
the
doodle.
hell?
Okay, well,
Holy doodle.
let's again
Oh my
old.
God. Yeah,
You guys are all signing up for the program.
Yeah, let's do it.
No
I'm
kidding.
in. I'm in.
And
Here's
then-
the problem. Whenever I go to Scottsdale, it's like I spend like $30,000 in 2 days. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can see that. I've been
I
out
mean,
with
how
you
much
here.
did you spend
so,
again last night?
yeah.
Yeah, I spent like $1,500.
We got to get Alan.
I know.
I'm going to be your little banker on your
You,
shoulder.
Yeah,
I
that's a
need
good idea.
somebody.
You need a financial
Oh my
advisor.
God.
Yeah, you do.
I have one myself. I'm
You
gonna
should
fire him
fire
pretty
him.
soon. Pretty soon.
You should
pretty
fire
soon.
him right away.
But he's got good
Hire
memories.
someone.
That's what I got out of it, right?
He does.
Right.
He
Saved
does
some
have that.
doggies, got good
You
memories,
can always
and
make money, but you can never get time back again.
That's true.
That's true. My time is very limited.
Well, we'll get into
I
that.
mean, I think you cut your time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It could be self-induced as well
It
too.
totally is, but whatever.
Whoa.
You live a fun life.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're a full life.
Yes.
Exactly.
Alan.
And last one, because I want to get to Crystal soon. Tulum. That's a really interesting area. I've looked into it personally. I know Alan has as well too. What are you seeing there, and why is it exploded so heavily?
Yeah, just economic fundamentals are there. So the airport, right? There's so many direct flights coming in from the States as well. And
What does it say? 6 million people a year?
Yeah, 5 to 6 million coming
crazy.
in. And then the new Maya train connects 6 different states in
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Like 45 minutes you can get to Cancun.
Yeah,
Whereas before it was like an hour and a half, right?
Oh,
that's what I
minimum.
heard
I
too.
did the trek. It was actually almost 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's such a game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
And the architecture, right? It's just it's like an avatar. It's a adult playground, and I say there's a lot of rich hippies, but it's everyone.
fun.
It's digital nomads. It's there's I would say more of our demographic for age is there.
Oh, bless your heart. I'm in their demographic. That's so fantastic.
Hey, I'm 40 this year.
Okay, all right. Well,
It's a
I
big
mean,
4-0.
I'm not
See,
too
we're,
much ahead of you.
we're blessed
Okay.
with the, partial Asians genes.
Yeah.
What do they say?
Mistaken
Oh,
for
what do you
21
say?
years.
Wait a second.
Wait. No.
Wait a second. I'm the only one out here that doesn't have.
But that's why you're married or marrying.
yeah.
an Asian, right?
You just
'Cause
exactly.
it's by transfer, right?
Exactly.
So what do they say? Asians don't raisin?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Until
Yeah.
you're 60.
Yeah, then you look like 100, right?
Overnight.
Yeah. Anyways,
So
so Tulum.
3-bedroom Tulum. What
Yeah.
is kind of where are you seeing the
You
opportunities
need,
in
yeah,
Tulum?
it's more so like we always because it is oversaturated. Let's be serious. Brentwood and Burnaby is oversaturated.
Yeah. Oh
Look
my
at all
God,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not an issue. You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
need to hold it longer.
Yeah.
So we say it's
Yeah.
usually a 5 to 7 year play.
Okay.
yeah.
But you're buying at 3 times less price than say Cabo now, right? So and it gives you everything and a bit more swimmable beaches and
Yeah.
things like that. So
And I mean, they're still building a lot of infrastructure there too, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there's still, and that's what you want.
That's what you want,
You
'cause-
want to buy. Imagine you bought in Cabo before the infrastructure.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because as soon as even the SkyTrain out here, right? When they're building the SkyTrain on Fraser Highway, before it was even confirmed, you buy.
Yeah.
Because once it gets confirmed, your price goes up, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, I
So,
listen. I
and
listen to you when you talk.
And a 3-bedroom is renting out for what you said, 70 to 100,000. That's American. That's kind of what you're
Yeah, and
looking
I'm
at.
giving you
Gross?
quite a range. Like we use
Yeah.
67% occupancy on all of them,
Yeah.
whether they do more. Like even in Cabo, I know the number off my head.
67,
It was
That's so
88%
specific.
last year.
Okay, wow.
That was the
That's impressive.
actual number.
Yeah.
We did 67% to be conservative, and then we like to obviously over deliver.
Yeah.
But in Tulum, it's again that's why we bought ourselves. Ali bought so we can
Test
know.
it.
And then it's just neat because you see people like the neighbor beside Ali, who's our client, sold her 1-bedroom in River District for $650,000, and then bought a villa for her family and kids
Yeah.
for $350,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though, sure, Ali bought at $320,000, it went to $350,000. Now I think they're around $400,000. So what?
Yeah.
It's in 3 to 5 years, if we were sitting here, it's going to be a joke. It's probably going to be $1 million.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
long-term game.
It's a
I think that's
long-term
what
game.
people forget. Like
Yeah.
real estate is a long-term game.
Yeah.
And everyone wants that quick appreciation, and it's like,
Well, it's happened. I mean, it's happened over
it
the
has
last 10
happened.
years,
Sure.
15 years, where that quick appreciation happened. People get
100%.
used to it and forget that actually
been spoiled.
we've been spoiled.
we've been spoiled, but then we got to remember, properties appreciate, but wages haven't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So people can't afford it once you get to this level, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's why they're moving to Edmonton.
That's why they're
and
moving to
Calgary
Edmonton.
because of that.
Yeah.
And that's,
So tell us about the mall. No, I'm joking.
You know what? The mall seems big, and yes, there's a lot of stores, but you'll find that there's the stores repeat each other. So it's the same stores on different ends of the wing. So it's not that.
It's not that good.
So
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say the water park. I was there.
The water park's actually pretty
It's fun.
fun.
Yeah.
But I
It's
heard that
weird.
we're
I'm
not
like,
actually the biggest mall in the world. Isn't that Dubai?
no. I think there's one in America that's like a huge 10 blocks or something like that.
Do people shop
in-
in malls
How many
anymore?
stores can you put in?
Is it- is it not? It's
Amazon
online?
is like the new mall.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
the virtual mall, right? So, but I mean, I remember being at that water park and I'm there and I'm like on tour and I'm just like, I'm going to go for a dip. And I'm around all these kids and I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
It's got really weird.
Yeah.
I'm the only adult here.
Yeah, that's
and
a
there's
little
like
bit weird.
kids around me.
Were
and
you
I'm,
in the kiddie pool? Because there are adults there. There is a tiki bar.
I don't know. I was really hungover.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's in the kiddie pool. Just
Oh my God. It was exactly like, I don't know, the Blink-182 video, the first date, when he's like in Tawasin water park and there's all these little kids and he's like,
Yeah, I remember that a bit. Yeah.
Anyways, back to
Yes,
real
yes,
estate.
back to
Sorry,
back
we
to
go
real
off on
estate.
tangents.
yeah, a little bit.
So, what are you seeing in, as opportunities? And also, too, on second question for you, have you had people then move to Vancouver and then from Vancouver to Edmonton? And what has been their experience acclimatizing to this new environment?
Yeah, so I actually like that question because I did the move myself, Edmonton to Vancouver and Vancouver and back. And I think that's where I can add value to those clients that are moving to Edmonton is you hear so much through friends, through Facebook. Edmonton is so boring. Why would you move there? There's nothing there. But then I think what you don't realize, it's like, it's not about like the city. It's about the people that you know, right? And it's about where they know to go and take you or have fun or for drinks or it's just, you need to go there and experience it yourself instead of just hearing from somebody that it's like a flat land that's really cold. I mean, that's half the truth. But you some people just do get used to it. I don't get used to it, but you acclimatize to it, right? You go get your Canada Goose jacket or whatever. But in terms of living, I mean, it's a great place for young people to get started into the market. Like just buy land and sit on it. And I think even 3 years ago, people were making fun of Edmonton, be like, why would we buy there? And it's the same people calling me today being like, hey, Crystal, do you have a property out there that we can invest in? What's a good area? And those areas, those good homes in those areas are now being taken up. Right? They're being bought out and we're just taking too long to buy it. And then all these big corporations are going to come in and buy it and you're never going to be able to buy it again. You're going to be renting from them.
So now when you look at, I know Edmonton, last time I was there was a long time ago, but I mean, it's so like the distance from one end of Edmonton to the next is like.
It's quicker.
It's what?
It's quicker to get from one end to the other.
In Edmonton?
Yeah.
Isn't it like a huge landscape?
Yeah, but we have Anthony Henday, which like circles the entire city.
Yeah, it circles, but I mean, like if you're driving straight through it, it's huge, right? In comparison to Vancouver. I mean, it's
that's true.
Right? Because like, I mean, it's huge. So you have a lot of land to build on still.
We still have a lot of
right?
land,
so
which
I mean,
is why our prices are different. But now we're getting built out further out.
Yeah.
And is the market going up? Because before it was like there's so much land they can just build. It's no problem. Is it just now because of affordability they can't keep up with construction, and so now places are going higher because of that?
I think actually construction's keeping up.
Is it?
Yeah. It is. We are building out further, but now new builds are getting expensive because material costs are expensive.
Oh, I see.
But now everyone's following in everybody else's footsteps and going into investment properties and buying inner city. Now we're going into the bungalows or ranch-style homes, as we call it here, with the mortgage helpers downstairs or main floor.
And how much are those around still?
Right now, I think it's average like 400,000.
Oh,
jeez,
see,
and that's Canadian with no PTT.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus,
so
what are we doing here, Adam?
What's a dumpy house in East Van?
I know. Well, $2 million.
A dumpy out $2 million.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, 1.9. You can get a teardown.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You can't even live in a house.
A regular
It's like,
size lot.
Yeah.
So it is crazy. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, honestly. And that's an interesting perspective that I haven't heard before is you have a lot of investors going in there, which I don't think was really the case before. We didn't have the pre-sale market that we had here for the last 10, 15 years. You didn't have it there. Now you probably have it. I've seen, even in our brokerage, a lot of people are talking about, because they have dual license. We even talked about that this morning on our chat. They're now looking at selling pre-sales through developers in Calgary, in Edmonton, which just you never heard about that 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
We were so overlooked.
Yeah, and I don't think the rent was quite there yet for it to make sense, right?
No, not really. I mean, I think we just started seeing rent increase like in the past year. But that's because it's getting so densified now. Everyone's moving there, right? From Ontario and BC are moving there. So, and
I
the
have a
foreign
good
buyers
idea.
there too.
I think they buy with you, and then they buy a rec home or a vacation revenue property because they have all this disposable income now. And they're off to the races, and they can just fly to the sun and
there you go.
melt their eyelashes.
There you go. Make it a package deal.
Well, let's not go that far.
So you guys heard it here. This is a package deal.
But no, it's not a bad idea. Like if you think about it, if you're in Vancouver and you're disenfranchised with the cost here, and you can afford, let's say, $1.5 million to buy, you could buy a house and a vacation property with that, have cash flow, pay off your mortgage or pay your rent, and you're probably further ahead than you are here, which is, I think, why people are leaving here and moving to other places.
Forget that it's fine, BC, compared to Alberta, but don't you want more money in your pocket?
Yeah.
Don't you want to live more free?
Yeah. And honestly, following
Amen.
Yeah, there you go.
And following your Instagram, there's a lot of cool spots. I've never been to Edmonton. I was born in Calgary. I moved here when I was very young.
What is it, White Avenue?
There's so many places like Jasper Ave, White Avenue, 124th Street, 104th Street. Like there's just cool places everywhere. And before I moved to Vancouver, even with I was just like, there's nothing here in Edmonton. But what was happening was I was just working, going home.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really discovering what my city offered me.
Yeah.
Until I moved back, and I was like, okay, like the way that I discovered Vancouver, I need to do the same with my hometown, and I did.
Well, it's hard to discover it when it's minus 42 out.
I mean,
Dress
it's
for
true.
the occasion.
Dress for the occasion. Well, I'm originally from Toronto, so when I moved here, it was like I didn't buy a winter jacket for the first 5 years because it's so mild, right? But now it's like I've become acclimatized, and now it's like 10 degrees outside. I'm freezing.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
So yeah, I see.
Yeah. So what's your long-term plan? You think with Edmonton? Do you think it's going to be a play for a long time? I mean, we just talked about 5-10 years for everything in real estate. You should have that time frame, but. Do you see long-term potential, or do you see this being a blip because of interest rates and a lot of other factors?
Well, I'm not an investing professional, so I don't want to say too much, but I do think it is a long-term. We have so much potential. We still have so much land. And again, you're making a lot of money while you're sitting there too, right? So whether you have a job there, you're getting paid more, your cost of living is a lot lower. We don't have double tax, we have one.
Yeah.
So there's just opportunity for you there, and you can just make money and then buy your first property.
And they
as
have Connor
investment
McDavid.
property,
Yeah.
right? Instead of living in that first property.
Is she getting a cut from this? There seems to be like a lot of cross promotion here. Yeah. Right. And corporately, what are you seeing corporations going there? I mean, it's kind of, I know Calgary attracts a lot of
Calgary more
head
so
office.
than us.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? I know that Alberta was oil heavy. Now we're trying to switch into this,
Yeah, good question.
this electric whole turn of whatever to save the planet, right? So what's going to happen with Alberta when the oil is no longer going to be this commodity that everybody
More oil
wants?
country.
Yeah. So what? I don't know much about Alberta. I know the Stampede. It's fun, but but I mean, what's their main source of for their economy is oil, right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen once they change?
Well, it's
right?
already kind of changed too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
so what's the second biggest economic thing that brings in money for your
I'm going
province?
to be honest, that's not my forte, so I have no idea.
Okay.
It sounds like real estate, honestly.
Yeah,
It sounds like we're changing to real estate,
Yeah.
just
I think
like
immigration is just gonna
Immigration,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
like
'cause
those areas afloat because it's just so much more affordable.
Yeah.
it is. I mean, I know Montreal is where a lot of people go first, and then they come to Vancouver. So, I mean, I think they're going to start probably out there
They're
now,
already
right?
trickling down. And, a little secret, apparently Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, and
Medicine
Grand
Hat, I love Medicine
Prairie are starting to grow and
Yeah.
what's the word? Oh my God, I'm drawing a brain fart because I don't do this. But
You were crushing this podcast for your first podcast, Crystal.
Yeah, you're doing great.
It's increasing in price, and that's the thing is we overlooked it. We saw it with Kelowna. People didn't think Kelowna was going to be a huge place to buy, and all of a sudden, by the time you've already figured it out, everybody else has already bought properties there. I mean, you had one there, and then you sold it too.
Yeah.
And now it's moving to Penticton and Nasoyuz, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing is just happening. I think we're overlooking all the smaller areas, and we're not giving enough credit. I think we need to. And I think somebody said Vancouver Island too.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts in Nanaimo. You just got to look at places that the future of that area is going to be developed, and you get in first, right?
Yep.
It's just like Brentwood. People are still coming up to me. They're like, "Do you think this is good in Brentwood to invest in?" I'm like, "No,
No.
maybe if you were
$1,300 a square foot.
Exactly. It's like, why is that 1,300 square foot? It's oversaturated, right? I mean, rentals can barely get market rent because you have 50 units all coming out at once, and it's like, yeah. So whenever people ask me, they're like, "Is Brentwood good?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was like 7 years ago."
Yeah.
That's what I
It's
mean.
too
No one
late.
thinks long-term
Exactly.
game.
Yeah. Exactly.
You need to be the first in.
Yeah.
I always say this is you lead the market, don't follow the
Exactly.
market.
Exactly. When you follow, you get burned, right? Or you have to wait longer. And that's fine if you have the time, but someone like me, no time.
And on that note, if somebody's listening to this and they want to contact you both, would they contact you?
I guess Instagram.
And what is that handle?
CrystalQuan.realestate.
CrystalQuan.realestate.
All right.
And Amy?
It's a bit of a nickname, but it's Amy Ames.
Z.
Just two Z's at the
It's
end.
like the most successful one has the most,
No.
yeah. has like the I don't remember the words. I'm so hungover. Has the least professional name on Instagram. Well, we're very professional, and we're like, yeah, we do 1/10 of our business. It's crazy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for coming on. That was excellent.
That was so
fun.
that flew
Awesome.
by. So
Awesome.
My hands are all clammy now.
you did great. You did great. You did
Well
great.
done.
We'd love to have you guys back.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably be sober next time.
You guys will.
I'm fine. It's just my voice is
Sure,
like.
Adam.
You should close it out with that, with your
Yeah.
voice.
Yes.
With my
Say
voice.
something
Yeah.
sexy.
Say something
I thought
sexy.
I was that entire time. I was trying to be
No,
sexy.
like,
Oh my god! Cut, let's do it again.
Yeah,
We need
that's
another
what we're
hour.
Record that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
you
thanks guys.
guys.
Yeah.
That's great.
for having
Thank
Thanks,
you.
All
Legacy.
right.
Yeah.
for the puppy.
Thanks for listening to the Subject Free Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, follow, rate, and review. Until next episode, we hope you're going in subject free.